Hello, it's Monday, and may the 4th be with you. Well, welcome to Minutes That Matter. For several weeks now, we've been working our way through what is known as the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5. Christ had sat down on the side of the mountain near the Sea of Galilee and spoke with authority and intimacy about what should characterize citizens of his kingdom. But we can't lose sight of the fact that he was also talking about what makes up true happiness in our life. Now, I think this is very important for us to talk about in light of what is happening in our world. There are a lot of people struggling with not being happy because of the restrictions currently imposed on our life as a community. Think of it. We've had many things stripped from us, and our sadness, anger, and frustration has, in part, exposed what we desire to make us happy. And the list that Christ has presented us with so far would not be likely candidates for happiness if the world were choosing. From the world's perspective, happiness is based on totally different foundations. Think of it: material possessions, popularity, acceptance, positions of authority. Autonomy is a huge one, or fulfilling one's desires. Happiness in the eyes of the world is certainly not centered on humility born out of the recognition of one's true spiritual condition. It's certainly not a mourning over the magnitude of one's sin, nor found in gentleness or meekness. No, they want to be in control. They want to be assertive. It is certainly not from showing mercy, but rather from taking advantage of other people's weaknesses. And thinking back into last week, happiness certainly doesn't come from hungering and thirsting after righteousness or from having or being a peacemaker. Because remember, in the world's eyes, life is all about me. And the world surely doesn't associate happiness with this next one: persecution. In other words, Jesus is going to say that a person who lives by the first 7 Beatitudes is guaranteed at some point to experience the reality of the 8th. Christ said in Matthew chapter 5, verses 10 through 12, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you." And so if you live a righteous life, at some point in time, you will pay a price. If you live a godly life, you will experience persecution. Paul said to Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12, "And indeed, all who desire to live godly in Jesus Christ will be persecuted." It is totally contrary to our thinking that the crowning feature of the happy person is persecution because kingdom people are rejected people. But remember that rejection is only temporary and concerns itself with the approval of man, not rejection by God. Jesus clearly states that he was a king born to die, to bear the cross, to suffer the shame and agony while paying the penalty for our sin. You know, one of the ultimate fruits of seeking to be like Christ is going to be persecution. Therefore, if you are a faithful follower of Jesus Christ and you're faithful to his word, what Christ says here will provide us 3 distinct aspects of persecution to which the believer we can look forward to. Now, we're going to talk about those in the days ahead, but today, allow me to circle back around and ask you to talk about this issue of happiness, and if you're struggling with happiness over these last several weeks. If so, ask yourself, what is attached to my happiness? What am I wanting that I'm not getting? Are there things on this list that Christ has mentioned? Are they enough? Is my relationship with Christ enough? What might you need to let go of, and what needs to be put in its place from Christ's list? For friends, in these attributes are found true, lasting happiness, joy. Well, again, if this was an encouragement to you, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not yet a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell button if you want to know when a new video comes out. And please, leave a comment or question below. We would love to talk to you. And so from all of us at Minutes That Matter, have a blessed day.